Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Kang 6-scale figure by Hot Toys. This is from Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. It was a movie that was very controversial between the fan base of Marvel. I liked the film, but it was only because of Kang. Kang made the film what it was. I also kind of liked Cassie and, Scott's relationship in that film. I think they dove somewhat deep into their relationship. They obviously are in better terms now. But it's just kind of that bonding session between the two, because they went through a lot together in that movie. And it showed, and I think I like that too. I absolutely hated Janet in that movie. I think she was one of the worst parts of the movie. Like, if you completely took her out, I would be okay. Obviously, the story wouldn't make sense without her in it, but I just feel like the writing on her end was really crappy. There's very unnecessary pieces of dialogue between her and Hank Pym in that movie. So other than that, I feel like it was a great movie. I liked the graphics. I liked the universe, the world of the Quantum Zone. It was really cool to kind of dive deep into that. And then Kang, obviously, he was insane, and I loved him. But anyway, we're going to be taking a look at his figure today. As you can see, there's that amazing purple metallic color on his suit with that green metallic color. Blends really well together, and that head sculpt looks insane, guys. Those white eyes pop. He's got those white, I almost want to call them like scars, but I think that's just because of the helmet. It's that glare on the helmet, the technology that covers his face. It makes him look really menacing. Now this figure is going to be coming with a accessory that kind of represents his powers. As you can see here in this next picture here, he's going to be on his little teleportation floor, whatever you call it. That's really cool. I really like that. How you can have him standing on his little portal, his portal floor. I will probably have mine displayed on that as well, just because I think it's really cool. And that's what Kang did in the movie, and he was really menacing when he did that. Now, I think these accessories, these weapon accessories, are going to make the figure look kind of cheap and toyish. So I don't think I'll be using them, because I want my figure to look as realistic as possible. But other than that, I think this is an amazing release from Hot Toys. I think they nailed the Kang likeness here, as we will see in some of the next few shots. But guys, that head sculpt looks awesome. That helmeted head sculpt, it really makes Kang, And I love Marvel's design team as far as his suit, because whoever did that is incredible. I feel like his suit in this movie was my definitive Kang. So to have this definitive Kang in my collection would be incredible, obviously. And then that teleportation floor that, he comes with is going to look awesome on the shelf. Here's another photo of Kang, but instead of his helmeted portrayal, here he has the Jonathan Majors head sculpt on. And that looks insane, guys. I think they did a great job on this head sculpt. I can't really see much here right now, but when we get deeper into this head sculpt, we will definitely dissect it a little bit more. But again, just with those metallic purple and green colors, the suit just looks insane. I think it's going to look great in 6-scale format. I think it's going to pop on the shelf with all the other figures. And then we have a little teaser here of MODOK in the background, which I honestly don't think they'll make a MODOK not a lot of people liked him in the movie, including myself. I thought he was stupid, and he was a terrible, terrible, terrible character as far as how they used him. I feel like, I don't know, he was overused, I think, as far as the humor. Every time they wanted the audience to laugh, they made him do something, and it was just kind of stupid, in my opinion. It was cheesy. It was very, very cheesy. So even if they did make MODOK, I would not be buying him because he's just not cool. Him in the movie, he was terrible. But Kang, obviously, he's the center of the video. He's the center of the Quantumania collection, so he's gonna look amazing if he comes out half as good as these prototype images here. Alright, in the next photo, we have Kang sitting on a rock, holding out his hand. This gives us a closer look at the head sculpt, but it's still pretty far away. I think it looks really accurate to Jonathan Majors. I think they did a great job so far. The hair looks a little weird, something about it. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, I mean, I think it looks good overall. And here we have Mr. Jonathan Majors with his separate rolling eyeballs with a purse system. So Hot Toys is giving, the Kang figure the separate rolling eyeball technique. And I think that's going to be incredible. I think all figures should have this. And here we get a closer look at this head sculpt. So I think they did great with the scars. Scars look great. The hair looks really... It just looks toyish. It looks very... It doesn't look as realistic as the actual face. I don't know. It just looks a little bit more muted, maybe. But I think that as far as the Jonathan Majors likeness, I think they did a really good job. The photo on the right looks a little off. Just a little bit. But again, on this figure, it might be one of those figures where if you're going to display him with the head sculpt, you're gonna want to be careful with where you put those eyes, because I think the eye placement's going to determine whether or not the likeness really shows. But the picture on the left looks just like him. I think that's great. So no complaints there. Obviously, when I get mine in hand, I don't think I'll be displaying mine with the Jonathan Majors head sculpt. I'll probably just be displaying him with the helmeted head sculpt. But, I think the Jonathan Majors likeness was really good here. I'd give it probably a 7.5 out of 10. Maybe an 8. It's good. It could be better. But, you can tell it's Jonathan Majors. So it's acceptable in my eyes. Here in this next picture, we have a closer look at the LED light-up helmet, eyes, and face. Guys, this looks insane. Like I said, this is how I'll be displaying mine with the helmet on. I'm not going to be using the light because the light goes within a very short amount of time. So it's just not worth it to me to have the light on. But this helmeted sculpt looks incredible. And it'll definitely pop on the shelf once I finally get my shelving systems, my Maju cases in. It'll go right with Ant-Man and Wasp, because I'm getting those as well from Quantumania. Especially the Wasp. I really like that portrayal of her with the yellow instead of the orangey colors. But this Kang looks insane. Here in the next picture, it has a closer look at Kang on his little portal. This is how I'll display mine. I was thinking him with his hands up as if he's going to do something. But he's not quite using his powers yet. He's on the portal stand, just being a menace to society. So this is what I was thinking. Something along these lines here in this photo, which is really cool. This figure looks awesome, guys. The robes, the tailoring, the cape. Hopefully the cape is good quality. Hot Toys is usually hit or miss. Most of their capes stink. We got a good cape with the Moon Knight. That was a really good cape, so maybe they'll surprise us with another good cape on this figure, but honestly, I don't have many expectations with the cape. I'm thinking it's going to be Mysterio quality. It's going to be kind of like the Mysterio cape, which wasn't bad at all. Like, if it's that way, and it's not going to be the worst thing in the world. But if it's like one of those Batman capes, guys, there's no way. It's not going to be great, but I don't think it's going to be that way, so we'll just have to see when the final product comes out. But I think it's going to be an amazing figure to have in the collection for sure. Here in the next photo, we get a closer look at that head sculpt. Kang's also doing, that menacing stance. He's not using his powers yet, but he's holding out his hands. He means business, guys. Kang means business, and he definitely did in this film. The one thing I don't like about this figure is it comes with one of those really big diamond-looking stands. I personally don't like these because I want to have as many figures on the shelf as possible. And I feel like with stands like these, they take up more space than what they need. For Kang, I can understand it because of that teleportation portal thing. You can have him, I think he kind of deserves like a bigger space to stay, to kind of pop. But they also gave this with the Moon Knight figure. And I'll be getting both of those. So that's already going to be a good bit of space that's just used for those two figures. I may just invest in a regular display stand or something, or maybe like a rock display stand. I was going to get one to put the Moon Knight on it, but I might pick one up for Kang as well. We'll have to see what goes on when these finally come out next September, because I ordered mine from Underground Figures, and that's when they're expected to be released, around September 2024, so next year. But I'm very excited to get this in hand. Obviously, it's gonna look insane. It's going to look insane. And here's another photo of him with his helmet on, shooting his, I don't know what it is, like a taser of time. Taser of time, that's kind of catchy. But his powers, he's using his powers, the power accessories. They look really cool, but again, I think they're only going to look cool when they're photoshopped, when they're like this. Because in the real life, they always look a little bit more muted. More translucent, and looks more toyish. So I don't think I'll be using them with my Kang. But it looks cool in these images, but I think they're kind of showing you a bit more of a better figure than what is actually going to be released. And the figure is going to be insane. It's going to be awesome. But again, those power pieces aren't going to look half as good as what they look on here, which stinks, but it's just the reality of the situation. Everything else about the figure, though, looks incredible. It definitely doesn't deter me from buying this. I already have it on pre-order, so it'll be coming next year. But this looks incredible, guys. It has a split cut boot design, so the rotation on the feet are going to be great to an extent. Obviously, the suit's going to probably bend a little bit, and there's going to be stretch marks everywhere on the suit, but that is what it is. I'll have mine in a museum pose on that portal stand, so that'll be cool. It'll be minimal, but it will be effective. He will be menacing for sure. This figure's just insane, guys. This figure's great. I have no complaints. I think it's gonna pop on the shelf for sure. Here we have the specially tailored outfit with metallic purple tone. So as it shows, it's gonna be like a metallic purple, which is gonna really make it pop. If it wasn't metallic, I don't think it would be nearly as good. But because they chose to go the metallic route like he was in the movie, it is, not only is it accurate, but it looks insane. along with the green as well. The green kind of looks metallic as well. Maybe not as much as the purple, but it definitely has that glare to it, which looks awesome. This piece is going to be incredible. Alright guys, and here we have Kang with all his bits and pieces and all his glory. So he's going to come with the separate rolling eyeballs in the Jonathan Majors head sculpt. He's going to come with the metallic purple and green suit. He's going to come with the Taser of Time accessory. He's going to come with his portal flooring stand there that looks incredible. He's going to come with some hands, that really annoying diamond base that takes up so much space. He's going to come up with the LED light up functioning head sculpt, which is going to be cool. And then obviously the split cut boot design and the awesome suit itself. So you don't get too much with the figure. I honestly wish they gave you more like power accessories. Like I know in the film he held up his hands and the static, it almost looked like electricity kind of, but it like flew through his fingers only, you know, and he was kind of just, I don't know, like exerting the energy out of his hand, but it wasn't doing anything. And I think that would look cool if they would have included something like that would peg onto the fingers that you could pose. That would look menacing as heck, and I would totally pose that. But nevertheless, we are getting a Kang from Quantumania, and I'm so excited for this figure, guys. If you want to pre-order Kang from Quantumania, you can do so at whatever website or distributor you choose to go with. I went through Underground Figures. I'm trying them out. I have a few people that have recommended them to me. So I pre-ordered Kang, Ant-Man, and Wasp from them, as well as the entire Guardians line. So I'll be getting those as well. But if you want to check those out, totally do so. I mean, I highly recommend them. I usually go through Sideshow with everything else. But again, I'm not going to tell you where you can and can't buy figures, because there's a lot of great places out there to purchase these things. But guys, that's going to be all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. The channel can't grow without subscriptions and without the likes on the videos. So if you do that, that'll definitely help the channel out. I hope to see you guys in the next video. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Have a good one, guys.